Welcome everybody to the inaugural podcast interview for the Grande Gang TV. Here at Grande Gang is our mission to inspire individuals to live the most out of life because we want to inspire everybody to do everything grande, which means big in Spanish. This is General Grande here, Grande Gang Captain, whatever, aka whatever you like to call me. And our lovely guest for this first inaugural interview is going to be the sea goat himself. You feel me? Stack season general, Big Hugo Shaw. You know what I'm saying? 1008 SDL, no bullshit, what a god. This is a man who has inspired me to do great and change my perspective on life, and inspires me to get the most out of life every day and to take the most out of each day. So hopefully this interview can help spread that message, and we can continue to impact you guys positively in a positive manner, and just influence people to do better. But I'm gonna let him introduce himself.
I'm not really good with introductions, but if y'all are going to be listening to this, you probably already know who I am, man. I just believe in bettering ourselves, not just myself. So I'm very transparent on my strengths and my faults, especially. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna kick it off with this Grande Gang, you know what I'm saying? And big stack season collaboration type of thing for his inaugural podcast interview, man. And we're gonna get it rocking right now.
Appreciate you, Shaw. Appreciate you. So we finna get into it. So for the people that don't know you too well, where are you from originally, Shaw?
I'm from Richmond, Virginia, man. Straight 804 type of shit.
You feel me?
Moved to Denver like 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Because Virginia kind of hectic. If anybody listening to this, you from Virginia, you know it's hectic. You know you don't really like being there, but it's cool. That's part of your soul, so it's hard to leave that shit. But yeah,
No bullshit, swear to God. Shout out 75, shout out 804. You feel me? So growing up, what were some of the things that originally interested you? You know what I'm saying? Like your favorite things to do, favorite activities, hobbies, anything like that.
like when I was younger,
Yeah, like younger, you feel me?
uh, same shit everybody else used to do back in the hood. Play, throw it up and run. I don't know what they call it now, but had to know some type of football game we used to play. Goddamn riding bicycles. You know what I'm saying? Statute of limitations up, so riding stolen bicycles because niggas and mamas can afford bicycles. Uh, shit. Just being outside for real, for real. Like, that's what we did when we was little. Like, it was no staying inside unless we was playing video games and we was on punishment. Like, we had to be outside. You know what I'm saying?
Real off the
And
porch
I know
shit.
most kids can't really, yeah, it ain't even on no street shit. It's just like being outside. You know what I'm saying? Like most kids don't go outside no more. This shit way different now in 2020, you know what I'm saying? Even though it be little kids around the neighborhood, it be niggas ages and shit like that. Hey, bro, niggas don't go outside every day no more, bro. That
No,
shit wild to me. You know what I'm saying?
no bullshit.
Niggas just be cooped up in the house on subscription services and fucking smartphones and shit like that. None of the niggas need to go outside. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like being outside kind of molded us a little bit better than the current generations. You know what I'm saying? Not to bash them, but at the end of the day, we always had good life experiences outside, interactions with other people, other kids. You know what I'm saying? Every day you're building a bond. You know what I'm saying? Since I was 6 years old, 5, 6 years old, I'm still friends with them niggas I met in 1996. You know what I'm saying? It's 2020, bro. I'm 30 years old. We 38, 31. We still homies. We ain't never got no argument, not about no women, not about no money, not about none. I ain't never had no argument with my day ones, bro. Ever. So I kind of gauge those relationships over to future new relationships. If I gotta argue with you, that means we can never truly really be real friends. Because my real friends, we don't argue. What is there to argue about? You feel me? We can might disagree on shit, but we never argue. Like it's never no real animosity towards each other. Because one of us is right and one of us is wrong, and one of us is gonna admit that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. So that brings up a good point. You bring up a good point because I agree with you. I grew up in the country. I grew up outside all the time. just trying to get into some shit. And you're right, those connections you form with those people, it's an organic type of bond that you can never really, you feel me? Like you can never, that bond will never leave you. Like, so with that being said, anybody that doesn't know Hugo, he has a large Twitter presence, and we're gonna get in talking about SDL and stack season a little bit later, but right now we just want to focus on the mindset of the times and how shit changes. So, like you said, being outside, they help you form impactful, close relationships with people. Do you feel like this technology era has kind of gotten people away from that? And do you feel like that influences people to be a little bit more confrontational on the internet or not as accepting of different perspectives?
Can you repeat that one more time, Brody? My bad.
Oh, I got you, brother. Yeah, so excuse me. So do you feel like because a lot of people didn't grow up outside, hanging out with people, do you feel like that causes them to be a little bit more confrontational on the internet when you're trying to introduce them to something new, to a different perspective?
Yeah, because they never met anybody with a real perspective, and also it's harder to listen to somebody that's on a different level than you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they're above you, it makes you feel like they're disconnected from you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if they give off, even if it's a relatable analogy, it's like, bro, you all the way up there, man. I'm not trying to hear what you got to say. You know what I'm saying? And that's because they never really had somebody that had their best interest at heart to give them a new perspective, especially on their bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So more people are going to be confrontational about things that they know are true too. A lot of people be knowing shit be true that other people tell them, but it's like coming to that realization of, damn, man. Basically, damn, that's all they can really say to themselves. So they kind of reject it to keep, I guess, a sense of pride in their mind. You know what I'm saying? That they know everything. You feel me?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. That was one of the reasons I started Grande Gang, because, like you said, it's important to give people what they're lacking nowadays, and that's that well-rounded perspective. Because when you outside with the homies, and people don't understand it, like when you're outside playing as a kid, you learn very early that there's a natural pecking order, and it's not necessarily to degrade other people or to make somebody feel better than the other, but in reality, it's all about balance and balancing your personalities as well as the actions you do. So, like you said, a lot of people have that ego to where you can't tell them. They know something that you're telling them is wrong. They know what they do is wrong. But however, the fact that they feel like because you're older or you may have more money than them or this, that, and the third, they feel like you're trying to degrade them. When if they would have been outside, they would have known it's really Brody just keeping it 100 with you so that you can do better because you're you're
Oh no,
on
I'm doing an interview. Yeah.
because you only as strong as your weakest link. You feel me? So and that's something that growing up outside, we were able to understand from a young age. So I agree with you 100%.
Facts.
So while we talking about influencing people and changing their perspectives, can you go ahead and let these folks know here while we on Grande Gang TV a little bit more about stack season, SDL, how it's a lifestyle? You know what I'm saying? Can you just get into that for us?
Basically, SDL was something I created for the streets and for myself at first. It was more about stacking our money and not having to keep falling off just to get it back. Lost it all, got it back. Lost it all, got it back. Because you get tired of that, you know what I'm saying? So you're trying to run it up until it's stack until you need another stash. Got a bank card in a duffel bag, like Starlito said. And that made me kind of transition more into because I lost all my money, you know what I'm saying? Like I was at $0. I had to use my last 3,000 on bills, and those were my old hundreds. So I knew I was fucking up. You know what I'm saying? Because most people, you don't got no old hundreds. You know what I'm saying? You got some old hundreds, you don't want to spend that shit. It's like a collection to you. You know what I'm saying?
Like
So to have
memorabilia.
to go to, yeah, memorabilia. So to go to your memorabilia to just survive put you in a mode of like, I never want to have to do this again. And so I made a stay season, made it a little more friendlier for the blue collar people You know what I'm saying? And it kind of took off. Like we care more about assets over consumerism. We want to build ourselves up. We're tired of being the same because the pain of you staying the same has to be more than you trying to change your life. And anything that's artificial, you know what I'm saying? If it's not beneficial, then it's artificial. And if you keep doing artificial shit, it's gonna eventually become detrimental. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I had to make stack season. I had to keep pushing it and knowing this gonna change other people's lives because nobody is making something like this with my perspective. You feel me? Like most people make these weirdo savings challenge, like save $1 this week. Okay, save $2 next week. Okay, save $1 the week after that. Then save $10. No, you need consistent beneficial behavior. And that's why I made stack season because I want you to purify your medium because life is like a plant. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we are meant to enjoy life, live life. But hey, bro, living life and enjoying life don't is not enjoying it if you got to worry about bills the next day because you just wilded out on vacation. On a vacation you truly couldn't afford, but you felt like you deserved it, so you celebrate being marginal. You don't want to celebrate being marginal and underbossing our life up. Like that even boils down just to weed, you feel me? Like, don't nobody want to smoke no fucking point five and no Rello. Like, we 14 years old still, and we 21, 25 and shit like that. No, that's marginal enjoyment. That's you trying to use your disposable income and your idle time to enjoy life when you should be building up your life because building up your life is fun. Like I said on Millionaire Mindset, like building up your life is fun. Investing in yourself is fun.
Shout out Millionaire
Initially,
Mindset.
shout out to my homie Xavier, yeah, Indiana. Goddamn, but building up yourself is fun once you start to see the results. Like the temporary sacrifices that you give up to better your life is nothing. Like quitting weed for a month or two or three is nothing, y'all. I'm gonna quit weed for a year and it changed my entire life. Like I'm not telling y'all to go solo for no y'all. I'm just telling y'all gotta realize the things you love can't hold you back. And everybody knows I love weed. If you follow my Twitter, you know I love weed. Like I love shopping. I love diamonds. I love chains. I love Cartiers. I love Gucci. I love all this shit y'all love or dream about wanting to have when you get more money. But I can't let it control me. You can't let consumerism control you. And that's what stack season is based around. Not letting the white man take your money faster than you made it, man. Because the average individual, you know what I'm saying, you get paid every 7 to 28 days. 28 days are for military people. I'm not gonna say 30 because it's fucking 7 times 4 is 28. We're gonna use fucking dope numbers today. We're not using no 30 days, you know what I'm saying? Or 31. So every 4 weeks, a military nigga gets paid, you know what I'm saying? He already got his major expenses paid by the military, so that's really like free money for Shaw. You know what I'm saying? And so Shaw gonna blow that shit, you know what I'm saying? And most of my military homies blew their bread. You know what I'm saying? They blew that bag real fast. Didn't really stack up. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Not
real
realizing
shit.
it.
That's real shit.
Yeah,
My pops was
not
in the
really.
military.
Mine was too. You know what I'm saying? Mine was from Chicago and shit. He got out of the goddamn, got out of that bullshit he was in and goddamn go to the military and shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So goddamn, yeah, man, you just gotta take advantages of the perks we do have. Like many of us, we don't have many perks, but the perks we do have, we need to take advantage of them. And one of them is our smartphones. Like you can't have a $700 to $1,200 phone that's basically used for Twitter, social media in general, and to text. Like, and maybe watch subscription services because that's what the white man wants you to do. That is not stack season approved. You need to start allocating your disposable income and your idle time better because at the end of the day, to use your disposable income and to enjoy it, you have to use your idle time. And one thing we cannot get back, you know what I'm saying, is time wasted. You know what I'm saying? We can get back anything. We can get back 10 bands, 20 bands, 30 bands. We can get that back. We can't get back the time we wasted. You feel me? And stack season is really a big thing now, man. I had a little nigga goddamn. Do you know Pop Son, bro? He was on Twitter when Pop Son was on Twitter, one bro.
Yeah, yeah. I was on Twitter when pops was.
Okay. It was the young nigga, you know what I'm saying? He 15 years old 5 years ago. He 20 now, you know what I'm saying? But he been following me since he was 15. I didn't even know he was following me. But he followed me through Pop Son with the food and all that shit. So it's like, damn, I wasn't even doing no investing shit 5 years ago for real, you know what I'm saying? Not in the market, you know what I'm saying? Outside of this mutual fund that I had or whatever. But that shit don't count. You know what I'm saying? So 5 years ago, I'm just cooking and shit, you know what I'm saying, doing me, you know what I'm saying? And as I grew up and transitioned into better positions in my own life, my following started to do the same thing. So it's like this dude is 15, and 5 years later, you 20, you already got you like a band in Bitcoin. You got other assets, you working on getting more assets, and you only 20 though. And that's what I be trying to tell people, like, we do not have to repeat history. What is the point of somebody being open about their mistakes, being transparent about it, and telling you their history just for you to repeat it? Like, don't repeat
Exactly.
history, you know what I'm saying? Like if the youth are not growing at a faster rate than we are when we were their age, that means they're repeating history. You know what I'm saying? I do not believe in telling people, you got time, you got time, you got time. Yeah, we got time, but that don't mean you got time to bullshit around. You know what I'm saying? Like, that bullshit got to go. You know what I'm saying? Quit your bullshit, cold turkey, and cool out is what stack season really is all about. It's about multiple things, but it boils down to these main things. Quit your bullshit, cold turkey, and cool out. If it ain't beneficial, it got to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta ask yourself the hard questions. And most of y'all are grown and are listening to this, you're at least over 18. So it's like, bro, you gotta learn to discipline your own self when you fuck up and you doing wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just rationalize your fuck ups, because when you do that, you start to get comfortable in fucking up. You know what I'm saying? And then when your back is against the wall, now you want to try to do something. Now you should have been trying to do something when you was semi Gucci. You feel me?
Because now you gotta, I agree with, first of all, I agree with everything that he's talking about, you know what I'm saying? Because I've applied these same principles to myself. Like, when it comes, I've only been following Hugo for, I think, about a year and a half now, but he's personally helped me and change the way I think about life and offer that new perspective. And he's one of the reasons why this podcast is even a thing. You feel me? Like, he's one of the reasons this is even happening. He's one of the reasons that I even started Grande Gang. So everything this man's saying is 100% the truth, bro. You got to cut that bullshit out. Like, and that's what we're gonna continue to do. We're gonna continue to help inspire people because, like you said, if you ain't growing from listening to another nigga mistakes, you really just repeating history, bro. And that's not the goal. That makes everything futile. Even my personal story, I'm under 21. I'm gonna put it like that. And I have a decent portfolio of assets in credit to listening to this man and cutting out things that are negative to me. You feel me? I don't went sober. I think for a total of like the last 4 5 months this year, I've been sober at least 2 to 3 months, and that's a big accomplishment for somebody like me. So
That's
I
all
believe
right.
you. I believe you. I appreciate that, Shaw. I believe you said it a little bit earlier, but it's like so. He said you don't have to go sober for a year. That brings up an important point that I like to talk. That I like to speak on. So what he means is you need to adjust your goals to your personal perspective because you're never going to get to where you want to go following another nigga's formula, right? There's nothing wrong with taking a new perspective on things and incorporating that into your own personal formula. But what you really want to do, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to take the elements from different people that you see from different perspectives and combine it all into your personal perspective. So that way you can continue to be a well-rounded individual and continue to grow and be the individual that you want to be. But don't get caught up and blindly following behind people like Hugo or anybody that inspires you, because at the end of the day you're still your own person. And Hugo is never going to want you to be exactly like him or do everything the way he does, because he's just not that type of person. But he does want to inspire you to be the best you can be. And you can only do that by taking using your resources, that damn $1,200 iPhone you got. And while you on Twitter, you can learn about some stocks, you can learn about some crypto, you can learn about drop shipping, real estate. It's literally unlimited. You feel me? So don't ever think that there's not something out there for you, because there definitely is. And that brings me into, what I'm saying, our next little topic. I'm saying? Hugo, a lot of people is confused about what you do. You feel me? And I know the best way for me to describe what you do is just straight hustling. So where did your hustling start? Like, did it start from selling candy? Where did it start, and how do you try to embody that hustler spirit in everything you do?
It definitely started with selling candy when I was 5 years old, first grade type shit. You know what I'm saying? They used to sell lollipops. Like I don't know what the position for the teacher, well not teacher of the lady is called at the school. Like I guess it's the assistant principal or something like that. But she was slinging candy. She was slinging lollipops, man. And I went to Walmart with my mama one day, man. I seen the same lollipop she was charging us $1 for like 50 cents. So guys, what I did, I went and got me some goddamn lollipops, bro, and I got more flavors than she had. And I started moving them bitches in the school, you know what I'm saying? Because niggas rather fuck with me than fuck with her anyway, because we don't like her anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I was doing it so much that eventually they tried to get me suspended. I sold out in one day so fast that what is it called? I faked sick to call my daddy, like daddy, I need another re-up, you know what I'm saying? And I'm 6 years old at this time. You know what I'm saying? Like nigga really had to fake sick to get the re-up delivered to the school, you know what I'm saying? He dropped it off, you know what I'm saying? And I got right back to selling, you know what I'm saying? So it's like that kind of molded me to be a hustler, you know what I'm saying? Like turn $1 into two before I pay you, you know what I'm saying?
That's a you feel me? That's a great start. And that's just that hustler spirit. Like you see it, 6 years old. And this is certain stuff it is in you. Certain stuff is genetic. That certain stuff you just don't have that the next person has. But what you can do is listen to this man's perspective and try and embody some of that spirit. Because if you've been hustling since you was 6, well, damn, my nigga, you've been hustling. You feel me? You a pro.
24
You've been,
years, you feel me?
you
Over
feel me?
24 years. You know what I'm saying?
Veteran. You damn near ready to retire. You got a pension ready, my boy. But
So people can't really compare. Don't compare my success now to your current success, whether you 20, I don't care what age you is. You could be 18 or 40. You can't compare my success to yours because I've been doing this shit for over 24 years. Some of y'all ain't even 24, bro. You weren't even born when I started hustling. You feel me? So it's like at the end of the day, though, I'm so vocal about my mistakes with the hustling. You know what I'm saying? That you can kind of transition into like everybody. I won't say everybody's meant to be a hustler, but in America, you gotta have some type of hustle in you. You ain't gotta be a full time hustler. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with no job.
you don't work,
Like
you don't eat. You feel me?
exactly. And at the end of the day, if you let your job control you, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, you're not gonna get a promotion at the job for just doing your job. And most people in 9 to 5 jobs, you're doing more than your job requires of you already, and they're not paying you extra for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta build yourself up in your spare time to be more valuable to that company or to leave that company and go to another company. But at the end of the day, you still gotta have some hustling you with your earned income to invest that shit. You gotta have a beneficial re-up and do it again cycle. And I'll go into read up and do it again real quick. I ain't gonna take too long. You do not have to sell drugs to re-up and do it again. That is just a beneficial mindset of I'm trying to keep elevating. So if I got $100 in my brokerage investment account, I wanted to hit 200. I wanted to hit 300. So what am I going to do to do that? You know what I'm saying? I'm going to cut back on my bullshit and I'm going to also try to increase income. Increasing income is vital, but it's not the end be at all to a solution if you have bad habits. If y'all niggas already smoking half an eighth a day, hey, bro, when you get money like me, bro, I'm gonna keep it a band with you. You probably start smoking a half a day. You know what I'm saying? And then when you start doing that, I'm not even calling you lazy. I'm just keeping it a band with you. You ain't been in this position in life, and I have, and I'm not trying to brag. I'm not trying to do none of that. I'm letting you know as you increase your income and increase your status, bro, you're gonna do more things that you thought you would never do. I never thought I would get a pair of shoes that cost $1,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause at the end of the day, when I was thinking about that, bro, I won't even making nothing but 100 bands a year. So I'm not gonna use 1% of my total income to get some fucking shoes, or almost half of my weekly income to get a pair of shoes. That
On a
sounds dumb
depreciating asset. You
on a
feel me?
depreciating asset. You know what I'm saying? Now, what I do with the goddamn get some shoes to resell and flip? Yeah, I would have did it then, but I didn't know nothing about that then. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna get no $1,000 shoes just to wear them, bitch. No. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna use this $1,000 on something else that I like, or I'm gonna try to flip it. You know what I'm saying? We all have our compulsions. Do not think just because your level is wherever your level is now, that when you level up, you'll not do certain things. You haven't even been close to the level that you are thinking about getting to, whether it's 100 bands, 200 bands, 300 bands a year. If you at 30, 40 right now, you don't know what you'll do at 100, 200 bands. You know what I'm saying? Because you got way more disposable income to work with. And you start to think to yourself, like, I can afford this shit. I'm good. I get paid in 2 weeks anyway. I'm good. Let me spend a little bit of this money. And that's what you start to tell yourself more and more. You got it, you got it, you got it. You know what I'm saying? But shit, me personally, I'm gonna give y'all a story on how I had it, but I told myself no. Now, I was going to Boston or some shit like that to help out my homies and shit. But I stopped at Tyson's Corner in McLean, Virginia. Never been there, but I seen my homie Beezy talk about it on the Twitter. Like that's what all the designer shit is. I'm gonna go in there. Let me see what's going on in there. I go up in the bitch, you know what I'm saying? Walk up in the Cartier store. I already knew what I wanted to buy, had the money to buy it. I asked the lady what the white buffs cost. This was 2018. She told me $2,600. I ain't walk out. I ain't never walked out the store so fast. I told her I got the money, but I'm gonna have to come see y'all later. Like, and the thing about it is, I had $55 in my backpack, bro, but I couldn't stomach to spend $2,600 on some glasses. It's not about to give me no money, so I went to Gucci next door just to feel it a little bit better. I did give me some $600 aviators. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I didn't get the buffs because it was like, nah, I need to instill some discipline, even though I got the money to buy about 20 pairs of buffs. You feel me? And that's just something you gotta start doing. You gotta have this discipline. You gotta be able to tell yourself no. Even when you got it, even when you can afford it 3 times, sometimes once you once you start that cycle of a higher level of consumerism, I know if I would have got them buffs in 2018, it's 2021 now. I probably would have 21 pairs of buffs, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you because I got an extreme personality. And the average person has an extreme personality. He just does not have the money to express it. Like real shit. Most people will go overboard. Like you see all these people win the lottery, go to the NFL, get all these M's, and come out broke. You know
I
what I'm
think
saying?
if I'm not mistaken, the statistic on that is like 90% of lottery winners be broke in the next 2 years, if I'm not mistaken.
And that's due to lack of financial literacy and discipline. People get financial freedom and financial literacy confused. Like you have to be financially literate to be able to handle your money. Like most people can't even buy an ounce of weed because they know they'll smoke it faster than they would if they just buy their ace every day. You feel me? But that
But
just shows you that you have lack of fucking discipline and self-control. Because if you can't handle $250 worth of weed, how you gonna handle 250 bands? Like realistically, them bands gonna disappear. You know what I'm saying? And most people don't think about it like that. You know what I'm saying? You can't handle the crumbs. How you gonna handle the loaf of bread? You feel me?
and to talk
Knowing
about
that
it, then you feel me? Like I didn't mean to cut you off, Shaw, but like you said, bro, it's me and you know that if you buy the zip, it's cheaper. It's cheaper, but instead of
fact,
buying the eighth every day, and the reality of it is, hypothetically speaking, that zip is an appreciating asset depending on where you got it from. So if you don't have no discipline to be able to stop yourself from smoking up all of something because it's there, you're no better than a little kid, than a toddler that can't stop eating cookies out the cookie jar. And that's why it's important for you to think about shit like this, because 9 times out of 10, like you said, all of us have most of us have extreme personalities. Think about your childhood. Where did it start? It started with cookies in the cookie jar. Now it's liquor bottles in the liquor store. You feel me? So just please, like, take that discipline to heart. Like, do your best to try and become a better disciplined person, because that is what's going to enable
and
you
like
to
I
get the
said,
most
think
out of
about
life. Go ahead, Shaw.
facts. And like to think about life like a plant. If you treat your life like a weed plant, you're not gonna want to give your weed. Not to say y'all can't drink beer and y'all can't do this and y'all can't do that, but would you give your weed plant beer? Would you give your weed plant the non-beneficial nutrients it needs and expect boutique level weed results? No, you will not. You know what I'm saying? Like so treat your life like a weed plant. You have to your medium is what the plant grows in. Like your soil is what I can call it, because I'm not about to, I don't need to try to go deep into weed, bro, because people won't know what I'm talking about. So your soil is your medium, and if your soil is not pure and has everything the plant needs to grow efficiently, then how can you see blooms? You feel me? Like your life is a garden, and you want a perpetual harvest. Perpetual means it feels like it's never stopping. You know what I'm saying? Like the money keep rolling in, the money keep rolling in, the money keep rolling in. Y'all be seeing them big homies on Twitter, you know what I'm saying? Post their gains and all this and all that. But most of these people started from nothing. You have to build that up and make a system. Once you have a system in place, you become perpetualized. I can give you the best example by talking about weed. If you start growing weed, you know what I'm saying, you got 4 plants, you know what I'm saying, but you started from seed to harvest. But you can clone the plant so you can short out the cycle of having to start from seed again. But all you need is another room to keep the mother plant and keep the clones and to keep the vegging room going, you know what I'm saying? But once you make another flower room, now you can start to harvest instead of every 10 weeks, you're harvesting every 5 weeks. So if you double up your flower rooms again to 4 flower rooms, now you're harvesting almost every pay period. You know what I'm saying? So it's like perpetualizing your life to the point that what you generate farly outweighs what you consume. And especially if you start to consume less and less and less while you build up your perpetual garden in life, then that means, damn, I can get them going back to the cookie jar. Like it's like a perpetual operation. You know what I'm saying? Like even baking cookies. Like if you only got one oven and you can only bake 100 cookies an hour, you know what I'm saying? Just an example. Like eventually you need another oven. You know what I'm saying? Because the cookies been selling out like a motherfucker, and you've been vacuum sealing some cookies just for a rainy day and shit like that, and you've been eating some cookies. But shit, with the regular job, it take you 2 weeks to bake a cookie. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we want investment income. That's why we want passive income, so we can goddamn make money in our sleep, make cookies in our sleep, harvest in our sleep. Like, hey, we need perpetual gains. You know what I'm saying? Like it has to be a never stopping cycle. And you can't do that if you're always consuming with your disposable income and your idle time. Because if you do it like that, then you're just giving away your money to the white man, and he gonna flip it. The white man always gonna flip your money. I feel like the average person has fucking spent well over $10,000 in consumerism between 1 and 3 years. Most people spend $10,000 a year on basic consumerism because that's only $30 a day, my G. You know what I'm saying? That's a DoorDash and a blunt. Like realistically,
Yep.
that's a DoorDash and a blunt
So
every day.
if you listen and think about that, think hard about how much money you make a day versus how much money you spend a day. If you are a traditional worker, like a traditional worker like everybody else, and you get paid biweekly, divide your net pay, not your gross. So look at your last pay stub. You feel me? Look at the net pay after deductions and all that other stuff, and divide that up daily, and then go into your bank and itemize your spending and see exactly how much you're spending each day versus how much you're making each day while you're at work. And if you're even, you fucking up. Because at the end of the day, that means because now you're caught in a cycle of waiting on the next check because you can't stop spending money that you don't have yet.
Facts. And that's why the investing to consumer ratio has to be at an all-time high. It has to be 90 to 10%. 90% investing, 10% consumerism. I want to say fucking 5 to 0 to 5, but I know people can't really stomach to do that. But at the end of the day, consumerism is an agenda. And I am Hotep, but at the end of the day, Hotep is not a bad thing. Y'all gotta look that up now. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, it's the white man's agenda to have you mind numbed out on your subscription services, especially during this COVID. They just want us watching TV, eating out, and what's the other one? Spending our disposable income in these stores. You feel me? Like basic consumerism. Like they want you to spend your money and your time before you try to make something better of it. You feel me? Like at the end of the day, you can be going to Target for toilet paper, but then you walk past some fancy sheets, or you walk past something that's new. It's always gonna be something new coming out that's gonna catch your eye. And you have to tell yourself, no, this is not gonna make me any money. I have not made any new money outside of my job in X amount of days, X amount of weeks, you know what I'm saying? I haven't invested this amount of money that I'm about to spend. I haven't saved this amount of money that I'm about to spend, but I'm about to spend it.
Yep.
Right now, you know what I'm saying?
Caught back in that
Like you
cycle.
gotta have a game plan. Like that's a detrimental cycle. You want a beneficial cycle though. You feel me? And at the end of the day, you can't keep giving your white man your earned income. That's your blood money. You bled, you sweat. You might even cry for seeing the 28 days to make that money just to marginally enjoy life. We do not want marginal returns. We do not want GameStop returns for our marginal enjoyment. Like at the end of the day, God forbid if anybody becomes down bad and out, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna pawn your iPhone. You're not gonna pawn your PS4, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, GameStop is only gonna give you like $40 cash for that PS4. It might be less now because the new PS5 out. But let's act like the PS5 ain't out. They giving you 10% of MSP or well, MSRP, you know what I'm saying, for a
Sticker
device. So
value.
yeah, your sticker value. So you'll rather keep the PS4 than just get $40. Like $40 back in the hood, back in VA with me and Shaw from, like, bro, that's a day's pay, bro, after taxes, bro. 725 times 8 is a little over $56, bro. I think it's $58. But with
Yeah, and
taxes,
then
bro, that be about $42 or some shit like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, I don't want that shit, bro. I'd rather
as
just
well
keep
pull
my
a
job.
double. You feel me? Like,
Because so it's like treating it like that, you know what I'm saying? You gotta realize that, like, damn, I don't want GameStop returns for my marginal enjoyment. Like, half of y'all cannot pawn the things that are in your room. Like, if you add up everything in your room or in your house in general, not counting furniture, but just count anything that's not needed for survival. And if you got a fancy couch, hey, you got to count the fancy couch, bro. We just go keep it a band. Would you go count the TV too? Like a lot of niggas' TV is better than mine, bro. And I made over $1 million
no
in the
kids,
last two
brother.
years. You know what I'm saying? Niggas' TVs is better than mine.
I got a
You know what I'm
24
saying?
inch Walmart monitor, $99.
Hey, bro, I remember back in the day, I had the ViewSonic, bro. I was thugging on the ViewSonic monitor, my nigga, and plugging up the computer to that
Yep,
nonsense. I
to
think I
watch
had
the
a cent.
TV.
Yeah, and then I think I eventually I started doing Modern Warfare lobbies like 2009. I spent $200 on like a 19-inch Samsung. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, my TV's never really been nice. My nigga Reese had to force me to buy a 40-inch 4K TV. That bit was like $300.
Shout
Right
out
from
Rich
school.
Reese.
Yeah, shout out Rich Reese, man. But I didn't even want to buy that joint. He had to bully me into buying it because it was on sale. Like, bro was like, you get a TV yet? You get a TV yet? Man, I pull up on this nigga, smoke some weed. He pulling up TVs. I'm like, man, let me buy this goddamn TV so you can stop talking about this goddamn TV. And I don't even watch the goddamn TV, bro. Let me keep it a
But
band with you.
and that's a good example for most people's lives. Not to cut you off, Shaw, but
Now
that's
you good?
that's a good example for most people's lives because think about the company you keep, right? So for the money Hugo spent on that TV, I don't only him and Reese know the specifics. We're not going to disclose the specifics. You feel me? That's their business. But I can guarantee you that him and Reese, because believe me, Reese and Scrap will be up here soon. They're going to make an appearance on Grande Gang TV soon. So, but I can guarantee you, Reese helped him make or motivated him to make 10 times as much as he spent on that TV. But the people that you hang around every week, every time you see them, what they telling you to do? They acting like Reese was acting with the TV, but they telling you, yeah, let's get another bottle. Yeah, let's get another quarter. For what? Have them people help you make that money back that you finna spend? Because once you go in there and swipe that card or give them that cash or do your little Apple Pay, John, with your brand new 12 Pro, you ain't getting that money back, bro. And even if you do buy something in the store and you resell it, like we said, most items that you own, they depreciate the minute you walk out the
Thanks.
store. So you're not gonna be able to get equal value back for that. So part of changing your perspective to get the most out of every day is changing your environment. And that includes changing the people you hang around because you can't have people that only inspire you to spend money and never inspire you to make no money. Because where are you going to keep getting this money that you're spending? You're not going to do nothing but compound what you're spending each and every time you spend it. So to break free from that cycle, you need to change everything in your environment. Not necessarily everything, but you need to evaluate everything and then make that decision for yourself. Like we said earlier, you feel me? You need to think about if it isn't beneficial, it needs to go. because a plant cannot grow in a toxic environment. If your house is full of carbon monoxide and smoke, all your plants will die. So why the hell is your life full of carbon monoxide and smoke? But keep going, Shaw.
Nah, you good. Kind of lost my train of thought. You know what I'm saying? Not because you cut me off. I be losing train of thought, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Like,
yeah, bro.
that's when my tweets be so spaced out because my mind be racing.
Yeah, it's like
I was looking at the stock market real quick, man. I'm trying to get me some money. We got
exactly.
down.
I've been checking it the whole
Yeah,
time we've been on, Shaw.
you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, man, just building up that beneficial cycle. And I was realizing that I can't do both. Like, y'all gotta realize you can't do both. Like, you can't be a consumer and an investor. If your disposable income is already low, like you have to build up. One has to go. And the one that has to go is the one that's not getting you no money. Like it's not permanent, it's temporary, bro. Like we almost over with stack season. Let me pull up the calendar. I think we got like 3 weeks left for stack season. 1, 2, 3,
Exactly a month. It's
4,
14.
28, 29, 30. We got 31 days left of stack season. You know what I'm saying? So we are already 60 days in. You know what I'm saying? Like time flies when you're bettering yourself. That's what y'all really do have to understand. Time really does fly when you're bettering yourself and you see the process. You know what I'm saying? You see the progress. Like, I can give you the best example, like I gave a millionaire mindset because it's already in my head. I don't know if y'all noticed when Tesla got included into the S&P 500 after hours about 2 months ago. You know what I'm saying? I think it was at like four, it might have been like 490 or some shit like
Yeah,
that closing.
it was right at 500. Yeah, it was right at
Or was
500.
like, oh, okay, that 500, bet.
Yeah.
So when it was at, it shot straight up to 600, bro. It shot up like a shorty was climbing the stripper pole, like straight up in the air, like, and that's because it got included into the S&P 500. That was major news. But it's like, hey, I want your growth to be like that. I want you to have exponential growth like that because you put the steps in place. Like at the end of the day, Elon and them and whatever, and they had to put the steps in place to get included into the S&P 500. They got denied a couple of weeks before they actually got included. You know what I'm saying? Like it was rumors that they were going to get included and shit like that. It didn't happen. But guess what? Brett kept working. Brett kept innovating. You know what I'm saying? People kept buying. And at the end of the day, they finally got included. And it's like that's the fucking breakout that just boosted them. Like I need you to have a breakout, but you have to work on all beneficial things, man. Like, and then if you're not doing beneficial things, you do something detrimental and stupid, you got to punish yourself because repeated behavior is not to be tolerated. Like, y'all, not to say y'all got beat by your mamas and daddies, but I got beat, bro. And that's not okay. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I don't do repeated behavior because I got my ass beat. Not telling you to beat your ass, but you gotta discipline yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, take a cold shower or some shit like that. Goddamn, tell yourself, oh, I can't do this because I did something stupid. Like,
You can do 10
y'all don't be
push-ups.
telling you, yeah, y'all don't be telling yourself no. Like, the only way you'll tell yourself no is if the disposable income is not readily available for you to do it. Like, you are very impulsive. You know what I'm saying? Even I'm impulsive, like but I control it a lot better than most people because I know that at the end of the day, this is not beneficial to my life plan. You know what I'm saying? And that consumerism agenda, going back to it, it's so easy to get warped into that shit, bro. Every time I leave the house just to go handle business, like I might be going to buy toilet paper, bro. I get up in Target. I might not even want to buy nothing else out Target. I can just go get the toilet paper. I leave. But now I'm going back to the crib. Now I see Chick-fil-A. Now I see Popeyes. Now I'm like, fuck, but I got lobster mac and cheese at home and I almost got Popeyes. Like, what the fuck was wrong with me? But that just goes to show you that consumerism is embedded into our brains so much that the stack season general has issues telling himself, no, do not get this goddamn Popeyes, do not get this goddamn Chick-fil-A. You know what I'm saying? Go home, microwave that goddamn lobster mac and cheese and stop being a little bitch. You know what I'm saying? Convenience and consumerism, all these things tie in together with each other, man. And what's crazy is that same day I told myself no to the Popeyes, but I went to go check the mailbox. But I guess what was in the mailbox, bro?
Tell us,
Popeyes
bro.
coupons. Popeyes coupons, bro. Like, what the fuck, bro? The white
Think
man keep
about
trying to get my money, bro.
And the average person, they got the DoorDash notifications on. They got all the apps. You got to think about, like, if you listening, go to your phone and check your food section. Cause I know you got the iPhone 12 Pro with the brand new widgets with iOS 11.4, whatever what it is. Check all your food apps. You got the notifications on. Like you can't escape the consumerism when you go outside and you don't let it in your house, bro. He had to walk to the
Right.
mailbox to get his coupons. But most of y'all, and most of y'all, you can just open the app. They send you notifications in the morning time, like
Facts.
to go get a coupon. So you gotta,
Reduce delivery fees. That's what they be really trying to
yep,
get niggas on, because
that's
that
yep.
delivery fee is what deters niggas from doing it sometimes. So they be like, oh, so you get free delivery fee. Because even when I was DoorDash, like, yeah, yes, I have DoorDash before. They gave me 30 days free of like what's the
Yeah,
name?
your free
Free
delivery
delivery
fees.
fees. But at the end of the day, I had to Google how much the spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A costs. And compared to the DoorDash, they still charge more for the sandwich than they do at
It's
the
up
jump.
to, I think it's up to $3 depending on what it is. It's up to like $3 extra per item.
And I'm good on that.
Exactly, bro. Like you gotta be like that's the crux of it. Cause just like when people are hearing this, you're thinking, oh, this sounds hard. This sounds hard. It sounds hard to make all this money. It sounds hard to make this system. But you gotta think about how hard it must have been for the people who originally implanted consumerism issue. But look at the delayed gratification they're receiving. The people in the 1960s, 40s, 60s, back in the day when they was trying to work on making people consumers in America, they had to work their ass off to convince the average American to come eat out. They had to work their ass off to convince the average American that you need to smoke cigarettes to be cool. But now look at their delayed gratification. Look at how they've been benefiting from it from the past, I say 40 to 50 years or so. Let's say like 1980 on forward. So everything takes time. But because they were willing to sacrifice time to implant consumerism in your mind, now they have all your disposable income that ain't used for bills, and they got all your parents disposable income, your grandparents disposable income, and they got your children disposable income, and you ain't even made them bitches yet. So think about that.
Facts. And they got your idle time because you're using your idle time to enjoy the consumerism. You know what I'm saying? And that means you can't truly change your life in your spare time because it's being used to enjoy the small things in life that you can truly afford. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to down your pay grade. No, you're enjoying what's at your disposal, you know what I'm saying? And you'll dream about investing, you'll dream about that all day. But what do you do when you wake up? You know what I'm saying? You might light your blunt, you might watch a season. I ain't gonna tell you watch a season in a day. Everybody don't watch a season in a day. But a lot of y'all watch a season in a day, or at least you do something that's not beneficial to you elevating yourself. It's easy to do physical labor and trade your time via physical labor for money, but to trade your mental space and to physically try to learn something is very hard. You know what I'm saying? Like even me personally, like I'll be trying to learn something on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Maybe just candlesticks or something like that, something small. But if I'm texting or I'm fucking tweeting while I'm doing it and listening to the video, I'm not truly fucking learning, bro. Because my mind is trying to do two things at once. No, if you're trying to learn something, you want to start allocating your time, you need to put down all the bullshit and focus on learning for an hour a day minimum. Take an hour out your day and focus on only beneficial things, no distractions. Your shorty, don't text your shorty back, don't text your nigga back, ladies. Hey, them people can wait an hour. Like, no, you're trying to do something and stay focused on physically learning. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of why they didn't want us to have the cell phones in school because they fucking that shit to distract you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I realize that shit now. The more I think about it, like, damn, like a lot of us little niggas used to be on the phone while the teacher teaching. You know what I'm saying? Not to even, I'm not even gonna give no teachers no benefit of the doubt because at the end of the day, that shit was indoctrination, in my honest opinion. But it's the fact that the habit that we had, we are glued to our phones, and we're not glued to our phones in a good way. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like,
You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, because you went to high school, it was a grip ago, believe me. That's all, bro. That shit, it only got worse. Like, and when you say that it's really a distraction, like, think about, like, it's almost like you were indoctrinated to seek a distraction, right? Because school and work structure for most people are very similar, right? And you and everybody listening, think about this, right? So from the ages of what, so you say you started school by 5, yeah, we all start by 5, 6, right? So at 5 or 6, you know what I'm saying, you in this classroom, you know what I'm saying, 8 hours a day, you eat at this time, you go home at this time, and you got to wake up the next day and you do this 5 days a week out of a 7-day week. So that's like 80 some percent, roughly like 80 some percent of your week taken up already. So now they introduce these smartphones, and now you can do anything on a smartphone, anything to distract yourself from being in a schoolhouse for 8 hours. But now you're not in school no more. Now you're grown. So now you go to work for 8 hours, but you got to be focused at work because work is the only way you live. So you can kind of resist your need for marginal enjoyment while you're making money because you know I need that to survive. But then what's the first thing you want to do when you get off? We all guilty of it. There's nothing wrong with it. You feel me? We all do it. You want to look on that phone. Most people come home and sit on their phone for hours at a time, and because you need to unplug from the day. But in reality, it was set up that way. It was set up for you to spend all your free time on your phone watching TV. Like when television wasn't working, that's when the phones came out. When television, you know what I'm saying? And now, like you said, streaming. The average person, you went from having Netflix 4 years ago to now you got Hulu, you got Amazon Prime, you got Disney Plus, you got BET Plus. You basically just paying for cable all over again. And all they had to do was break down the work and sell it to you separately. And what do we say about buying a zip? If you buy a zip, it can be an appreciating asset and it's cheaper. But they done broke it down the same way you go buy an eighth every day, 7 days out the week. You pay 4, 5 different companies $10 a month at different days of the month just to watch TV. When in reality, you could have been investing 90% of those subscriptions.
You got recurring, unnecessary, mandatory expenses, but you can't do a recurring transfer to your savings or your recurring transfer to your investment account.
Exactly.
And not even to down you because y'all, I'm gonna keep it G with you. I just set up my fucking M1 recurring transfers Monday. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing $150 a week. You know what I'm saying? Of course, y'all know I'm not gonna miss that shit, and I'm not even flexing. But goddamn, at the end of the day, most of y'all can make it $150 a month. You know what I'm saying? That's what is it? What, $5 a day?
Yeah, yeah, that's
You know what
exactly
I'm saying?
five a
That's
day.
$5 a day, bro. That is less than a 4 for 4 if you get the little, I guess, a large drink or something. I don't eat Wendy's. I don't fucking know. Y'all
No,
know
that's
y'all. Yeah, y'all know y'all swipe $5 a day easily.
yeah, that's a fofo because a fofo like 520 to 560
For sure.
after taxes.
After the tax. Okay,
Yeah,
okay. So yeah, that's the 4 for 4 right there, bro. Skip the 4 for 4. Start learning how to cook. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all got the idle time. Like y'all be acting like y'all ain't got the idle time. You know what I'm saying? Like cooking don't take that long. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be making goddamn fancy lobster mac and cheeses and fucking souffles and all these other things that take time to prep. No, man. Just do some meal prepping for the next 2 to 3 days, man, and thug it out, bro. When I first came home from prison, bro, I was eating like pork chops and shit like that, bro. I didn't even know how to cook when I came home from prison, so let me keep it there. But I was frying shit. I was frying pork chops, eating rice, eating green beans and shit like that, bro.
you feel
Cheap
me?
shit, you know what
That's
I'm
some
saying?
real
Like,
that's some real VA shit, real VA nigga meal. Some fried pork chopper chicken, some rice and some green beans.
yeah, so like you gotta start looking at all those sales people y'all get for the grocery store. Start looking at them. Start learning your grocery store. You can learn the trends of your grocery store and start to shop in bulk, especially on your proteins and on like your starches and shit like that. Like, bro, ain't nothing wrong with a 10 pound bag of rice, bro. Hey, bro, get the 10 peas, bro. Go ahead, get the 10 peas, and then go buy your veggies fresh as you need them. You know what I'm saying? Green beans are very cheap. What else is cheap? Brussels sprouts, they're not that cheap, but they're pretty cheap. Bell
Cabbage,
peppers,
cabbage is
cabbage,
super cheap, super cheap.
lettuce, like all these veggies, you gotta just start looking and start building up meals, like as far as like what you like to eat and what you compare what with it, how much the average plate would cost for you. You know what I'm saying? Per day. And bro, it's real easy to beat the 4 for 4. I hate when people try to say, bro, eating out is cheaper because of the coupon. Shut the fuck up.
It's
Like
not.
that's it's not fucking cheaper, bro. You know what I'm saying? You cannot get a whole meal for fucking $2, bro. But I can
We
cook a whole meal for $2. I can
we
make some
already
roasted chicken.
we already did the math. So we said
Yeah.
if you get a 4 for 4 every day, that's 150. That's 150 a month, right? So if you do 150 a month for a single person, because I'm a young man, and believe me, I'm a big nigga. You feel me? I eat a lot. I spend if you go to Aldi's, cheaper groceries, you feel me? That same 150 you spend a month on Wendy's, you could have spent that 150 when you got paid, went to Aldi's and got 2 weeks to a month worth of groceries. And now
Minimum.
you feel me? Minimum.
And that's
Minimum.
multiple meals. Like you're 4 for 4. Like, no, this is for 2 meals a day
Two
minimum.
meals a day minimum. So, because every time you cook, all you got to do is make enough to where you have some leftovers. You can, because okay, I'm gonna break y'all down my personal life. So I go to Aldi's, I spend about 150. If I got to go to Walmart, and get water, I buy a lot of water at a time. So it can get up to 200. But this is exactly what I do. I cook about 3, 4 o'clock, eat supper around whenever I get done 5 o'clock. Have me another helping to close out the day. That's my two. That's my second meal for the day, and I still got 6 to 8 portions left. And when I say 6 to 8 portions, I mean 6 to 8 platefuls of the food I just cooked. And I know exactly how much because I feed the homies. I got 4 homies, 3 to 4 homies I feed on a regular basis. And after I feed them niggas, guess what? I still got lunch and dinner for the next day, and then lunch for the third day. So, and if you really, you feel me, if you're really in a position to where you it's just you and you don't have to feed nobody else, think about how much food that is for yourself. 8 portions, if you only eat twice a day, is 4 days out the week. And if you was going to Wendy's every day, like we said, that's $5 a day. 5 times 4, you done saved $20 this week just because you went to the grocery store when you got paid instead of going to Wendy's every day.
Or shit, and that's just another part of the beneficial habit. Like people don't realize that these processed foods actually affect our drive too. Like at the end of the day, like I told you, I went out 2 times in one day. I wanted to get taco. I actually wanted to get multiple things. I wanted to get tacos. I wanted to get Chick-fil-A, and then when I went back out again, I forgot what I needed to do. You know what I'm saying? But I made voice tweets about this shit. It's just so easy to get warped into convenience and consumerism because it makes your life easier. You know what I'm saying? And most of y'all, bro, when y'all buy food, y'all eating it in the car while you driving. So by the time you get home, the food already be gone anyway.
And guess
Like
what?
real
I need
shit,
a little
bro.
snack. I need a little snack.
You know what I'm
So
saying? So now you need another little snack. Now you might got them start dipping in the pantry for your little munchy snacks and shit like that. But when you do smoke your blunt, 'cause you don't already ate your Chick-fil-A, you feel me? So it's like, hey, bro, that's a real cycle. And I had to learn to break that cycle. And that's why I want y'all to break it. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, when you break that cycle, you start to focus on only things that matter to you. And right now, that's investing for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Like investing has consumed a lot of people on my timeline to the point that that's almost all they talk about. Of course, we talk about other things. Excuse me, we joke, we shoot the shit, but
from nine to
shit,
four,
bro,
nine from 9 to 4:30 Eastern Standard Time,
it's
it's
all
nothing
money
but
talk
tickers. It's nothing but
and money talk.
tickers. You feel me? Stocks, how to get money this way, how to get money that way, and this
What's
is
popping in the
you
financial
feel
space?
me? And this is exactly why I wanted to bring Hugo on for this inaugural interview, because when I talk about a paradigm shift, and for those of y'all that don't understand what a paradigm shift is not changing one thing, but changing the entire system in which you do things. So I want to set the tone for you guys here on Grande Gang TV to get actionable information that helps you change your perspective, that inspires you to get the most out of each individual day. And there, I'm telling you, there is no better conduit, there's no better person to introduce you to that than this man right here, because of the connections he has personally on in Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Just because of how the energy that he attracts, all he attracts is money and people that are trying to do their best and on their P's and Q's. He will inspire you to do anything. He will link you. He will, just by following this man. I done learned so much about so much shit. I done learned about tech, goddamn drop shipping, reselling sneakers. You feel me? Like it's insurmountable the amount of knowledge you can acquire when you A, choose to break out of your cycles, and B, sir, purify your medium, and C, do the work. You feel me? That's the 3-step plan to living grande. This is 3-step plan to being your best self. Removing the bullshit, changing the way you think about things, and doing the consistent work to make a new you. You feel me? Like, and unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna have to wrap it up here. But if Hugo, is there anything else you want to add to the people? Before we end this interview off, you know what I'm saying? Just a little words of encouragement for those out there. Anything you can give.
Man, I said it. I always said, like, add up your consumerism for the past 1 to 5 years, come up with a rough number, no interest accrued on it, and realize that you gave that money away for no return, and the person you gave that money to invested it and flipped it. You know what I'm saying? But if you needed a loan, that person would not loan you the money. Like, they won't even loan you 10% of your consumer spending at Target or at Walmart. So if you've given Target $10,000 over the past couple of years, like, on bullshit, not survival needs, nothing like that, like, Target's not gonna loan you $1,000. They might not even give you a credit card. You know what I'm saying? To go spend more money with them. So it's like you gotta realize that, damn, I need 10 bands, and the white man can't get my money no more till I got 10 bands, and I'm not doing no bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I got 10 bands in cash or in assets. You know what I'm saying? It's assets over everything. You know what I'm saying? That's how we coming for this year, man. And I think in the beginning of February, and I'm already doing it now, I'm taking a stand against all consumerism that's not the need to survive. You know what I'm saying? So that's a little bit bigger than stack season, because y'all know stack season, once you do that first 90-day medium purification of, if it don't make me no money, I'm not buying it at all. You know what I'm saying? Then you can start to can treat yourself a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all know I treated myself on my birthday. I don't give a fuck, it was my birthday. But outside of that, like, it's like little things like going to get a bottle. Just because you can go make mimosas at home don't mean you need to go make no mimosas. That's still consumerism. No, we not doing no consumerism come February except for Valentine's Day. Y'all gonna get a pass on that white man's holiday, even though I don't celebrate white man's holidays except for food. But y'all know I gotta get y'all a pass on that day. But come February 1st, it's invest all year. That's the new hashtag. We changing it from 31 days of investing to invest all year. Now that y'all have realized, damn, I invested for 62 days and I got me a little bit of money, and I would have spent it on weed, I would have spent it on this, I would have spent it on that, and I got to retain the money and let the money work for me while I'm already working in my job. Like, bruh, you want to make money in your sleep. Like, I can end it on that. You want to make money in your sleep. Everybody has the ability to make money in their sleep if they play it right. You know what I'm saying? So play your cards right. You got a good hand of cards. You just gotta learn how to play with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, we make our own rules, bro. At the end of the day, bro, I'm not following no white man's rules. I will follow the law. I will adhere to my morality over the law. But at the end of the day, bro, we play nigga uno over here, bro. We got our own rules, bro. Fuck with them white people talking about, bro.
No bullshit, swear to God. Well, I appreciate your time, Hugo. I'm pretty sure everybody that gives this a listen will appreciate all the free game you dropped, just about bettering yourself. So to everybody listening out there, thank you for listening in to the first episode of our podcast series here at Grande Gang TV. Always live grande and pura vida.